This video is on lesson 3.7, which is problem solving with two-digit numbers. So all of these are going to be multi-step problems in which we're doing 2 by 2 digit multiplication. So question number 1 says, an average of 74 reports with bird counts were turned in each day in June. An average of 89 were turned in each day in July. How many reports were turned in for both months? Hint, there are 30 days in June and 31 days in July. So this problem kind of breaks it down for us. First, we need to figure out the problem for June. If I have 74 reports in the month of June, and there's 30 days in June, I'm going to have 74 times 30. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply that over here. So if I have 74, I can actually do 74 times 3, and then add my 0 at the end, because it's multiplying by a multiple of 10. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 7 is 21. So I'm going to add my 1 there, so 22. And then I need to remember to add my 0 from the 30. So there were 2,220 bird reports in June. Next, we're going to write our problem for July. So there were 89 reports turned in for 31 days in July. So I'm going to do 89 times 31. So I have 1 times 9, which is 9. 1 times 8, which is 8. And before I move on to my tens place, I have to add my 0. So 3 times 9 is 27. And then 3 times 8 is 24, plus my 2 is 26. So now if I add that up, 9 plus 0 is 9, 8 plus 7 is 15, 6 plus 1 is 7, and 2. So there were 2,759 reports turned in for July. Lastly, I need to know how many reports there were total, how many reports were turned in for both months. So I'm going to add those together. So if I have 2,220 in June, and 2,759 in July. 0 plus 9 is 9, 2 plus 5 is 7, 2 plus 7 is 9, 2 plus 2 is 4. So that means in total, there are 4,979 reports turned in for both months. Now we're going to look at question number 3 on page 185. It says there are 48 crayons in a box. There are 12 boxes in a carton. Mr. Johnson ordered 6 cartons of crayons for the school. How many crayons did he get? So if I want to know how many crayons he got, first of all, I need to know how many cartons of crayons I have total. So if I have 6 cartons and 12 boxes are in a carton, I'm going to do 12 times 6 to figure out how many boxes of crayons I have total. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So that means I have 72 boxes of crayons, okay? But now I need to know how many crayons I have total, and there are 48 crayons in a box. So I'm going to do 48 times 72 to figure out how many crayons I have total. So first I'm going to do 8 times 2, which is 16. Then I'm going to do 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now before I can go on to my tens place, I have to add my 0 here. So 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 4 is 28, plus my 5 is 33. So now I can add those. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus nothing is 3. So there are 3,456 crayons total. All right, now we're going to take a look at question number 5 on page 186. It says, on each of Maggie's birdwatching trips, she has seen at least 24 birds. If she has taken 4 of these trips each year over the past 16 years, at least how many birds has Maggie seen? So before I can figure out how many birds she has seen, I need to know how many trips she's been on. So it says she's been on 4 trips a year for the last 16 years. So I'm going to do 16 times 4 to figure out how many trips she's been on. So if I do 6 times 4, that's 24. And then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So she has been on 64 trips to watch birds. Now, if on each of those 64 trips she's seen at least 24 birds, I need to do 64 times 24 in order to figure out how many birds she has seen. So first I'm going to do 4 times 4, which is 16. 4 times 6, which is 24, plus 1 is 25. And then before I can go to my tens place, I have to add my 0. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 6 is 12. And now I can add those two products together. So 6 plus 0 is 6, 5 plus 8 is 13, 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So Maggie has seen at least 1,536 birds. And finally, the last problem we're going to do on page 186 is question number 8. It says a school is adding 4 rows of seats to the auditorium. There are 7 seats in each row. Each new seat costs $99. What is the total cost for the new seats? Show your work. So before I can figure out my total cost, I need to know how many seats I'm buying. So if I have 4 rows and 7 seats in each row, first I'm going to do 4 times 7 to figure out how many new seats I need. So 4 times 7 is 28. So if I need to buy 28 new seats and they each cost $99, I'm going to do 28 times 99. So first I'm going to do 9 times 8, which is 72. And then I can do 9 times 2, which is 18, plus 7 is 25. Then before I can move to my tens place, I have to add my 0. So now I can do 9 times 8, which is again 72. And I can do 9 times 2, which is 18, plus my 7 is again 25. So now I can do 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 2 is 7, 2 plus 5 is 7, and 2 plus nothing is 2. So it is going to cost $2,772 to buy the new seats.